Bienvenidos cafeteros a Café en Mano Podcast, el podcast que diariamente te hace sentir como si te estuvieras dando un café, pero auditivamente. El café que te brinda inspiración, motivación y evolución. Aquí hay varias maneras de consumir este podcast. Incluye los Medio Pocillos, que son monólogos en la cual comparto mi pensar de diferentes temas. A lo mejor eres una persona más de conversaciones. Están las random sesiones, que son conversaciones de temas totalmente random. Y por último, están las entrevistas, hablando de los momentos más profundos del desarrollo de diferentes tipos de personas. Ahora, coge tu café en mano, disfruta, relájate y vamos a empezar lo que hay para hoy. El podcast es traído a ustedes por Puerto Rico Sin Filtro. Puerto Rico Sin Filtro te ayuda a ti con tu negocio, con tu marca personal y especialmente con tu podcast. Yo soy parte del equipo de PR Sin Filtro y si entras a cafemanopodcast.com y ves el botoncito de reservar consulta, vas a ver todos los servicios que ofrecemos. Ya hemos ayudado a gente con los intros, haciendo su podcast, creando sus páginas, bueno, con un montón de cosas. Así que acuérdate, me escribes a mí en Don Juan del Campo en todas las redes o entra a cafemanopodcast.com para más información. Por si no sabías, Café en Mano es parte de la red de podcast de PR Sin Filtro. Si entras a prsinfiltro.com/podcast, ahí están todos los podcasts que poco a poco la familia sigue creciendo. Ahora mismo está el Pocket con Ana Resto, repara tu crédito y mejora tus finanzas. Y si te pasas preguntando por qué el cielo es azul, por qué caen rayos o hasta qué velocidad viaja la luz, explicando todo eso en Arroz con Pollo, Curiosidad Científica, Agustín Valenzuela te explica. Entra a prsinfiltro.com/podcast para que veas la familia de podcast de PR Sin Filtro y escríbenos para ver cómo tu podcast puede ser parte de la red.
Señoras y señores, pueblo de Puerto Rico.
Y bienvenidos a la gente que no es de Puerto Rico a este programa
Que se llama Café en Mano. Pues el animador, señoras y señores, se llama Juan Víctor.
Gracias, Comay, por ese intro. Les pregunto, ¿alguna vez se han cuestionado si son alfa? Hoy vamos a escuchar un segmento de Simon Sinek, una de sus presentaciones, que se llama Are You an Alpha? Para los que no saben quién es Simon Sinek es un británico-americano motivador con varios libros bastante, diría yo, famosos. Y uno de ellos es Start With Why. Y pues en este talk que encontré, él que me estuvo bastante interesante y me gustó mucho, del verdadero liderazgo. Que lo encuentro bastante interesante porque pues todos de alguna manera u otra queremos ser líderes. Y pues este talk está bastante interesante. Por acá se los dejo.
Serotonin is the leadership chemical. The reason I call it the leadership chemical is a historical reason, a very simple historical reason. We had a very practical problem as our animal was developing, as the Homo sapien was developing. We lived in communities of about 100 and 150 people. And there's a very practical issue, which is if we're hungry and somebody brings back food and drop a carcass on the floor, we're all going to rush in to eat. And if you're lucky enough to be built like a linebacker, you will elbow your way to the front. And if you're the artistic one of the family, you get the elbow in the face. Not a good system to keep the whole tribe alive, and definitely not a good system for cooperation. Because remember, the value of group living means that if I trust you and you trust me, I can fall asleep at night and trust that you will alert me to danger. If I don't trust you, I can't go to sleep at night. It's the same in our companies. If we trust each other, we will turn our backs, we will take risks, we will innovate, we will do things that will change the course of our world. If I don't trust you, I can't do that. I can't do that. There's value in group living and group working. And so if you got an elbow in the face that afternoon, odds are very high that you're not going to wake the guy who punched you if danger's there. You're just not going to do it. Bad system. And so we evolved into hierarchical animals. We're constantly assessing and judging each other, constantly arranging ourselves. Who's the alpha? Who's the dominant? Who's the one who sort of is the more dominant personality or dominant talent in the room? In caveman times, it might have been physical muscle. In a creative industry, it might be talent. In the military, it might be courage. There's no standard by which we judge alphas. It's relative to the industries we're in. And it's relative to us as well. If you've ever met someone and you were nervous while you were meeting them, you're not the alpha. We've all had the experience where we're meeting somebody and we can sense that they're nervous meeting us. You're the alpha. I'll tell you a little aside that's kind of funny. You know when women all live together, their menstrual cycles align, right? Assuming they're not on the pill, then it doesn't work, right? But if they're not on the pill, all the menstrual cycles go together on the same schedule. It's not arbitrary. They always align with the alpha female's schedule. And the reason is because when a woman is in her menstrual cycle, she can't bear children. And so in evolutionary terms, you want the alpha male and the alpha female to do it so you can have alpha children, right? Nice, strong, strapping kids are going to survive. But if she's off the market, that produces competition. So Mother Nature has created a very clever way that when she's off the market, everyone's off the market. Back to the talk. So we're constantly judging and assessing each other who's alpha, right? And what we do is when we assess that someone else is the alpha, we voluntarily take a step back and allow them to eat first. Alphas get first choice of meat and first choice of mate. Good system. Good system. The alpha gets to eat first. The rest of us may not get the best cut of meat, but we will get to eat eventually and we won't get an elbow in the face. Good system. We'll happily alert them to danger later. Good system. This is why we're constantly trying to raise our status, is because there are benefits to being the alpha. People will do things for us and step back and offer us favors, right? We to this day, we're perfectly comfortable giving special treatment to our alphas. No one has a problem that your boss makes more money than you. You might think he's an ass, but you don't have a problem that he makes more money. Nobody has a problem that somebody who outranks us at work has a bigger office than us. Doesn't offend us. It is deeply ingrained in us. We happily step aside and allow our alphas first choice of meat and first choice of mate. It's good to be the king. There are advantages that come with being the alpha. You get special treatment. You get to eat first. People show you love and respect. It boosts the serotonin. You walk around like this. It boosts your confidence. It's awesome. But it comes at a cost. You see, the group is not stupid. We're not giving all of that stuff away for free. Leadership, alpha, comes at a cost. You see, we expect that when danger threatens us from the outside, that the person who's actually stronger, the person who's better fed, and the person who is actually teeming with serotonin and actually has higher confidence than the rest of us, we expect them to run towards the danger to protect us. This is what it means to be a leader. The cost of leadership is self-interest. If you're not willing to give up your perks when it matters, then you probably shouldn't get promoted. You might be an authority, but you will not be a leader. Leadership comes at a cost. You don't get to do less work when you get more senior. You have to do more work. And the more work you have to do is put yourself at risk to look after others. That is the anthropological definition of what a leader is. This is why we're so offended by these banker boys who pay themselves astronomical salaries. It has nothing to do with the number. It has to do with the fact that they have violated a deep-seated social contract. We know that they made all of that money and allowed their people to be sacrificed. In fact, they may have sacrificed their people for the money. If I told you we're going to give $150 million to Nelson Mandela, would anyone have a problem with that? Nope. $250 million to Mother Teresa. Got an issue with it? Nope. It's not the number. It's not the amount of money they make. It's that we are deeply and viscerally offended that we know that we allowed them to have this alpha position and they did not fulfill their responsibility of the alpha. They're supposed to sacrifice themselves for us. Never sacrifice us for themselves. This is why we're angry and offended and don't trust them. They fail.
Bueno, y por ahí se los dejo. Espero que se lo hayan disfrutado. Acuérdense seguirme en todas las plataformas como Don Juan del Campo, cafemanopodcast.com. Ahí están todas las maneras que puedes apoyar el podcast. Puedes encontrar el podcast. Acuérdate calificar este podcast con 5 estrellas en iTunes, en Spotify, darle follow y suscribirse a YouTube, que eso ayuda al podcast. Y también, si quieres donar al podcast, siempre está en buymeacoffee.com/café en mano. Si no, pues en cafemanopodcast.com puedes encontrar el sticker que dice donaciones. Y ahí puedes comprarme un cafecito virtual por las gracias de todo este contenido que te estoy brindando diario. Así que, gente, gracias y hasta mañana. Seguimos.